All right, Trace, thank you so much. Joining us now to talk about this, Katie Pavlich, news editor at townhall.com, and Leslie Marshall, progressive radio talk show host. Ladies, welcome to you both. I got to say, just thinking about these kids and the daughter who witnessed this thing and got shot too. I mean, regardless of, anything about this person, how they got here, I mean, this is just devastating. And, Katie, this guy, I'm told by sources, a senior Hill source, Capitol Hill, this guy came here illegally. He was here illegally, was given a special juvenile visa, immigration visa, back in 2013. And so he was sort of grandfathered in, and that's why he was here. But Katie, he hadn't committed a crime to that point. So, what's wrong with how this all proceeded?
Well, the first thing I want to point out is that the White House and open border activists often argue that they don't want to tear families apart by deporting their family members even after they've committed crimes. But here we are with another case of an American family whose family has been ripped apart permanently as a result of bad illegal immigration policies. And when it comes to this guy and his criminal record, look, this is a direct result of the United States of America not enforcing entering the country illegally as a crime. The authorities in this case say they couldn't deport him because of the circumstances, because he only had a burglary charge instead of a conviction, and of course he had a pass from the Obama administration. But the fact is, entering the country illegally is a deportable offense. And so if we treated everyone equally under the law, we probably wouldn't be under this situation today.
Leslie, obviously, over the last couple of years that the administration has given prosecutors and immigration officials great prosecutorial discretion. I mean, that's something that they have under the law. And as said, you don't have to deport certain people. In fact, we're telling you not to waste your time on certain cases. You don't really even have a right to deport. I mean, ICE agents have sued the administration over those policies, but that's where we stand. Is this, Leslie, what we end up with?
Well, what we have right now is approximately 2 million people under this administration that have been deported, 30,000 people every single day that are sitting in detention centers. And you're right to point out, Shannon, that this man did not have a criminal record. And I think that all of us would agree that none of us, this administration, regardless of the ideology of any administration, has a crystal ball and is clairvoyant. The majority, overwhelming majority of the more than 11 million illegal immigrants here are not violent criminals. This man was not a violent criminal. It's terrible when any tragedy like this happens, whether a person's a citizen or not. But this man, again, was not here illegally, and that special victim's juvenile status, those visas that are given, they're given to children who are abused or neglected from foreign countries. So this isn't just a free pass because you've been here a long time. He fit the criteria for this particular visa.
Well, and Katie, my source though on this says that DHS is essentially giving these out. They use the word, quote, widely, these special immigration visas, that they are giving them out in a way that would suggest there are a lot of people getting them.
Well, and this is the problem, is they're giving them out without actually looking into the backgrounds of who these people are. And sure, Denise maybe didn't have a violent criminal record, but he had a criminal record because he was in this country illegally, and that is, in fact, a crime. And let's not forget that the Obama administration is not only giving out these juvenile visas to people who they haven't vetted necessarily, but they're also releasing tens of thousands of violent criminals with convictions of homicide and rape onto the streets of America. And to say that, well, we don't have a crystal ball and we don't know what's going to happen, why are we even allowing people who aren't allowed to be here in the first place, who have broken our laws as their first move inside the United States, to stay here at all?
Well, and Leslie, we do know, as Katie pointed out, I mean, there's factual evidence to support that there have been people who have committed significant crimes that have been released, even though they are here illegally, back onto the streets.
Well, there's no question that we have an immigration problem, and this is something the president has been saying, and that's why so many people, left and right, have been pushing for immigration reform, which would include securing our borders more so, having more Border Patrol agents, having financing for that, better trading, aerial drones, things that they're doing, as Rudy Giuliani had mentioned, on the border in Colombia that's been very successful. But if we look at, what do we propose here? Are we supposed to deport every single person who was arrested? And this person, remember, until he committed this crime, did have this visa and is under the current status technically here allowably legally with this visa. And if you're saying prior, Katie, I hear you, I agree with you, you are breaking law if you enter this country illegally, but we do not have the physical means, the financial means. It is not a reality that every single person that is in those detention centers or in this country now illegally can be deported. We all know that. That's not realistic.
To put these people back on the streets.
We have to leave it there.
We can prevent.
We have to leave it there. But remember, as soon as he got that special visa, he then had legal permanent resident status, and that really changes the game on a lot of things. Katie, Leslie, thank you both for this important debate tonight.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Shannon.